Hello everyone, how are you? So today for Ripple I am drawing a little girl who's going to be eating chocolate Ripple ice cream. I thought that'd be fun. I'm just drawing in her eyelids and where there's going to be shadows and things. I've got her nose in sort of the right spot. I need to drop it down a fraction. Drop it down a fraction. That. She's got a rounder chin than I've given her. And she's got hair coming down here. Her hair's sort of about here. Her ponytail swirls around. So I'll do a swirl around. I'm just going to give her a pink shirt, make it different from the... I don't need to do all the details. And she's got a hairband here. Like that. I can see this eyebrow. She's got a little eyebrow there. Can't see this eyebrow, but there's a bit of hair coming down there. Alrighty. A little line there. The t-shirt comes up there. Change the shape of there just a little bit. Like that. Come around here. That, and then into her ear. Okay, that's looking okay. She does have another arm, but I'm not going to draw it. I think I'll just leave that for now. Draw the pattern around the edge of her cap. And just got little study things there. I can draw those in last. Might just give her, make that a bit lower, fraction lower. All right, I reckon we're good. So first of all, I'm going to get me cloth. And I'm going to do the background, and I'm going to do the background in green. I might do it, what colour greens have I got? Might do it in deep sap green, I reckon. Go a deep sap. That'll be fun. It'll be a nice bit of contrast against her. So I am going to wet the whole background. So I'm going to take my clean brush, go around the whole background. Her little neck, I can see there's a bit of a gap here behind her head. Down in there a bit. Right, because I can do that in 2 halves. So I'm going to drop the green paint in. Yeah, luckily because she goes to the top and the bottom of the paper, I can put the background in 2 halves. So I don't have to worry about it drying out too quick. Some more of that. Daniel Smith's Dark Sap. I've got to come under here where her hair goes under there. So hair is a browny colour, so I'll be able to go over that a little bit. And take that right down the length of her back. So I'm working wet in wet, so wet paint on wet paper. We'll drop in some other colours into there as well. I'll drop in some yellows and might drop in some more yellow actually, just create a little bit of interest in there. Get a bit on my brush. That. And just drop that in. Hello, Aurora. How are you, doll? Gonna let that flow. Whoops, days. Maybe shouldn't have let it flow that much. But anyway, I had a bit too much water on my brush. But it doesn't matter. It is what it is. So how are you going today? I'll go over that again, I think, after. I'll let it dry. Pick up the bead at the bottom. Doing great. How about you? I'm good. I'm good. I was just like thinking about what to do for Ripple, and I thought I'm going to do a kid eating chocolate Ripple ice cream. Hello, Jeds. How's you going? You still on Twitch? I haven't been on Twitch. Yeah, I have. Yep, I'm still on Twitch as well. I do both. So, yep, I do first thing in the mornings here, and then I pop across to Twitch later in the day. So, very busy. But it's going good. All is going good. I'm just becoming the queen of multitasking. So what's everyone up to? How's your book going, Jeds? How's your book? And I loved your little alien Aurora. Oh, my God, it was so cute. It was so cute. I've got to quickly get all this wet. Coming down. I've got to pick up that bead at the bottom on the other side. Got to be a bit careful not to get the green onto her skin. I'm down here. All right, now quickly drop in my green. Got to be so quick on this because I sort of almost made a mess, but I actually don't mind it. Awesome stuff. Great to stay busy. Yes. What was that? Oh, about doing both. And Jed's writing a book. And I said, I loved your little alien. He was cute. Aurora did an alien for yesterday's prompt. Or today's prompt in the US. Yesterday's for me, because I'm a day ahead-ish. Whoops. Ooh. Come down onto here. I've got to quickly get that. Book is going well, I think. Nice. Got to pick that bead up there. Get rid of it. Got it. Get some more of my green and quickly get down this side of the ice cream. So in the reference photo, she's eating a plain ice cream, but I'm making it double chocolate Ripple because I'm just going rogue. So I thought, because I didn't just want to do water. I'm like, So I thought, what else has got Ripple in it? And I'm like, chocolate Ripple ice cream! Woohoo! The frankly awkward alien. Yeah. Oh, he's cool. He's a cool little dude. Water is what I did. Cool. Yeah, I looked at all the droplet-y things and I'm like, oh. It's not going to flow. The other side flowed. This side's not going to flow. No, it doesn't matter. I'll just blend it and drop a bit more green in maybe. See, one side worked and one side didn't. I'm going to drop some more green in. You watch me wreck this. Whoops. Okay, that's all right. I don't mind that. Just drag that around. Around the edge of the hat, because the hat's blue and pink and all kinds of things, so I can lift a little bit of that off. So what have you got on for the rest of your evening, guys? Girls and guys and girls and guys? It's just my day's just starting. Just starting. Yeah, I'm going mad on the ice cream. Abrupt was for today, so I don't need to do another video till tomorrow. Cool. Abandoned. Ooh. Abandoned. Oh, that'll be interesting. I haven't been looking ahead at the prompts. I've just sort of been doing them on the spot. And I'm like, oh, that'll be interesting. Abandoned. Oh, that'll be, yeah. There's a few options. Buildings. Pets. People abandon things that are abandoned. That could be interesting. I like challenges. I like that they make me think outside the box. I'm just going to lift up some of that. So that dries back incredibly pale, so I'll get away with it. The background dries back very pale. Oops. Oh, that's really cool. That is very cool. Very cool. Aurora. Gorgeous. So it's watercolor. Oops. Book is about topics doing right, not wrong, or based on the Holy Book. Oh, that's right. You did tell me that. Yes. Awesome. Very, very good. So I'm just lifting little bits of the bits where I've got where I don't want. I've got to let that dry for a little bit. So I'm going to clean my brush, have a sip of my coffee before it goes cold again. And then I might work on the chocolate ripple ice cream. Because I'll get that out of the way and then I won't be terribly hungry. So I actually took a photo of chocolate ripple ice cream so I could draw chocolate ripple ice cream. So I'm going to go in with a bit of buff titanium. For a start, I'll have to stay away from the edges. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not going to do the ice cream first. I'm going to do her little details in her face because otherwise I'm going to be going near wet paint and I don't really want to be doing that. So I'm going to go a bit of red, get a bit of alizarin crimson and just pop that into her little lips. Start to work around anywhere that I can that's not near water, because I've wet the background quite strongly. Aurora asked, that's why I said, oh, that's okay, Dale. No, I asked you too. I asked you too, Dale. So that's cool. That's very exciting. Very exciting indeed, Dale. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do inside her little mouth. I've just got to do it. I've just got to do what I see, don't I? Got to do what I see. It's that simple. So go purple, bit of dark blue, bit of red. Might go a bit of brown in there just to darken that up a little bit. Bit of burnt umber. I should have sprayed my paint first, shouldn't I? Get your little squirty bottle and spray your paint before you start working, because otherwise you're going to end up with dry paint and it's annoying. So we don't want to do that. So I'm going to do this shadow colour. Now I can add a little bit of brown to that purple. Blue. Purple. I'm going to try it because, yeah, in her mouth is quite a dark colour. A bit of indigo maybe. Go a bit of indigo. We'll add a bit of indigo into there. There we go. That'll be a good dark colour. And very carefully, just, oh, doesn't have to be strong, just the tiniest little dot, because this colour goes a long, long way. And just do that. I've got to go sort of around the shape of her tongue a little bit. Oops, Daisy. True, very exciting. It is very exciting. Very exciting, Dale. Actually, I'm going to take that the whole length. Like that. And then I can lighten that off a little bit. Just going to dab it, just touch it with my cloth just a little bit, just to lift it out a little bit, like that. Righto, now I can start on the skin tone on her face. I've got to be a bit careful. How dry is, oh, actually, you know what, that's nearly dry. Oh my God, that dries fast. So I'm going to go straight in, because I didn't realise it would dry that fast, but it's dried fast. So I'll grab some pink for the hat, because her hat's got a pink front on it. So I'm going to wet the paper, wet the front of her hat. I've got a bit of pink on my brush, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world, but I've got to wet the paper. around there. Got blue trim around the edge, so I can stay away from the edge a little bit. Like that. And then I'm going to drop the pink in. Go a little bit darker towards the edges. Like that. And this is Daniel Smith pink. What is it? It's a, what's it called? What's the name of it? Rose Madder. No, Rose Opera. Sorry, Rose Opera, not Rose Madder. Rose Opera. So I'll darken that up there because she's got a crease in her hat there. She's got a darker rim around here. Very gently come around there. Like that. And then under there. And I'll let that dry for a little bit. So I've got to do a blue trim around the edge of it anyhow. Holy dooly. Actually, I will go over that a little bit there. Opera pink, yes. Opera pink. Daniel Smith's opera pink. You don't fool around, you draw the paint very fast. Yes, I am incredibly fast. Like the drawing probably took me about 5 minutes, but I didn't put a lot of detail. I changed a couple of things, took out an arm, changed a few things, but yeah, I am very fast. I am very fast. So I'm going to go in also ultramarine blue. But that's just years and years and years of practice and drawing lots of wildlife. When I draw wildlife, because you got to draw it before it moves. So I do a lot of painting at zoos and a lot of drawing at zoos. So I'm used to drawing things really quickly because you got to capture them in the moment. So yeah, I'm used to drawing things really, really quickly. It comes with practice. The painting, not so much. I'm slower at painting, but the drawing I can do incredibly fast. Yeah, she probably took about 5 minutes. But I'm not photorealist either. Like I do, like there's things that are not quite right. But if I could take my time and probably do it a lot more detailed. But I quite like it being a little bit more loose. I'm just so used to doing things fast that it's a really hard habit to break. Yeah, yeah. I'm just going to darken this up a bit here. Yeah, I have some, on Twitch, I have some challenges when I draw and paint. And one of my challenges, like when you get challenges for your points and stuff, like you earn points for view time and stuff, instead of, like over here it goes on your view time or whatever, over there you get points. And for the points, people save them up. And one of my rewards is 30-second drawing, 5-second draw, no request, whatever they want. And then the other request is drawing blindfolded. So, yeah, we've had a few laughs with that one. But, yeah, people just literally on the spot put a request in and I have a go at it. And I've got a couple of 30-second one of 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I think are the rewards. So, yeah, it's lots of fun. But it's good practice. It's good practice to speed draw. It is good practice. And just try and get as much of a likeness as you can in a short amount of time. All right, I quite like that. I quite like that. I've got to just darken up this part. I'm going to drag that down a little bit. Yeah, I could do that at the end of my stream, at the end of my YouTube stream, actually. I could just say to people, right, request a drawing and I'll draw it for you in as fast, like as quick a time as I can. That could be fun. That could be something different. So now I'm going to go around the edge. It's like yeah, I'm going to go the ultramarine still. Just got to wait for that to dry a little bit. I've got to not be so eager. I've got to wait for it to dry. I can do this dark rim just around here. Just a tone darker also. Just a tone. I didn't do the back part of her hat. And it's when it's learning to omit things too, to not have to feel like you have to draw every single thing. It teaches you to, yeah, not to draw every single thing. All right. Now, I'm going to do, oh, am I being brave or am I being crazy? I'm not sure. I think I'll be brave. I'm not going to be crazy. It's going to work. It's going to be fine. I'm just going to run the rim around her hat. I don't use a hairdryer. I should. I have one. I should use one, but I don't. It's going to pick up that little bit there. You know, watercolour's beautiful. Sometimes letting it do its thing's fine. Oops, I've got too much water on that. Oops. A little bit too much water on there. Just a tad. Yep, and that comes around here. Oops. To her face. Made a little bit of a mess, but I can clean my brush, just literally clean my brush, get the excess water off it, take all the moisture off it, and just go back in and I can lift that up. Lift it up a little bit. Blend it, and I'll tidy up that line in a minute. I've made a bit of a mess there, but I'll clean that up. I can clean that. What have I done there? Is that pencil? Oh no. I'll clean. It's a bit of fluff. Got a bit of fluff off my brush. There we go. I'll clean that bit up. I made a mess there, but I'll clean that up after. But it's good. You get to see mistakes as, well, not mistakes, but things that need fixing as well. And you can fix watercolour to a degree. There's a little bit of movement in it. And if you start with, you work from light to dark. So if you start light, usually you can repair things with a little bit of a darker layer. All right, we're going to let that sit. Now she's dry all around her ice cream. I can go into her ice cream. So I'm going to go into her ice cream, and I'm going to do the chocolate ripple first. But I'm going to use a little bit of burnt, what's it called? Buff titanium. Buff titanium. Oh, I need my picture of my ice cream because it's chocolate ripple ice cream. There we go. So we've got buff titanium for the ice cream itself. It looks like a caramelly colour ice cream. So I'll just pop that on. I can leave little, she's got a double dose because it looks like you got to have, when you get ice cream, you got to get the 2-1, like the one with the 2 layers, because it's just a world of yumminess. So I'll do that. So I've just literally put the buff titanium all round, and I'm going to go in with a bit of mahogany for the chocolate. I'm going to wet that down a bit so it's much paler. I don't want it to look like poop. So pop the mahogany in there for her ripples on her, and I can let that run into the other ice cream a little bit. Or 3, yes. Oh my God, you know, you can never have too much ice cream. No such thing. Yeah, I love the, oh, I was looking at photos of ice cream yesterday. Or last night to try and find a picture of chocolate ripple ice cream, because I've never actually eaten chocolate ripple ice cream. I eat caramel or peppermint. So I've never eaten chocolate ripple. So I had to look for a photo to see what it looked like. But oh my God, did it make me hungry or what? It made me so hungry. Okay, I'm going to leave that. Let it dry a little bit. My favourite ice cream is Dutch chocolate. Oh, yeah. Lindor chocolate. I don't know whether you get it in America, Lindor. Oh, so yummy. So yummy. So now I'm going back to so good. Yeah, see, now I'm hungry. That's what happens when you draw anything. Oh, my God. It's always the way. I always end up hungry. You know, I watch people's streams and they do, you know, the biscuits and things, and I always watch them and go, oh, my God, now I want to eat. And she's got a waffle cone. So I'm going to do, I don't know, I'm going to do a waffle cone with brown ochre, I reckon. Bit of brown ochre. Because it's not pale, it's sort of a very thin wash of brown ochre. And then I'll add a darker in the little spots. So I'll just do a wash of ochre. Just had a chocolate cow after dinner. Oh. Hello, Ariane. Happy birthday. Oh, thank you. No, that's okay. I had an invitation to a marriage party. Oh, nice. That's wonderful. How was the party? That's gorgeous. And how have you been, Dale? Okay, I'm going to let that dry. Just realised I really didn't put any detail on her hands. I probably should have. Oh, well, doesn't matter. You live and learn. I might do her skin tone now because then I can do her hair over the top. It's chocolate milk with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Oh, we do iced coffees. Iced coffees with a ton of whipped cream on top. Oh, my God. Stop. I'm getting hungry. So I'm going to clean my palette. Oh, have another sip of my coffee. Beautiful, of course. Oh, that's wonderful. Dropped a like for Down Under. Oh, thank you, Wayne. How you going, doll? How are you? And thank you very much for that, doll. Yeah, weddings are gorgeous. My daughter got married. She comes home from her honeymoon tomorrow. Tomorrow's today? Today's Monday. No, Wednesday. So she got married 2 weeks ago. So that was beautiful. So now I've got my yellow ochre, and I'm going to go a touch of alizarin, a lot more yellow ochre, a lot more water. Okay, so I've really diluted my yellow ochre and my alizarin crimson, really watered down to create the skin tone, and now I can work in around her face. I can go over her eyebrows. Anything that's going to be darker, I can go over, not the end of the world. So I can go over a little bit where her hair is. Got to make sure it's very diluted. Can't have her looking like she's got a terrible tan. So I've got to be a bit careful. She doesn't have a lot of highlights because she's under a hat. She's protected from the sun. I can work around her little face. And I picked this one because I thought the expression looked really... It'll either work or it won't. I wasn't sure. Yeah, it looked like a fun expression to try. Because I don't, usually you draw people with their mouths shut, and I thought, oh, I'll have a go at drawing someone with their mouth open. Because I'm a glutton for punishment and I like to try different things. Because that's how we roll here. It's like if I think I can't do something, I'm like, damn, now I've got to do it. So... And I can go over her hair because her hair's dark. So that's fine. So it doesn't matter. I just can't go over her T-shirt. So I can just run this all down her face and onto her chest. So that's the first layer. So I'll literally do this, 3 or 4 layers of skin tone or around all of her areas and just build up the shadow areas. I love those two. Yes. So I can see that she's darker down this side. So the next layer... I can already, because it doesn't matter that it's, I think I've made her forehead too big. I should take the pink back a bit, but anyway, I'm too late now. That's what happens when you draw things. You start to see things that you've missed and you're like, oh gosh, golly gosh, golly gosh, golly gosh. I should have done that a bit different. But anyway, and then I've got to come around this side of her face is a little bit darker, just down here. She's got a little button nose. I don't think I've made her nose round enough either. But that's okay, I can change that. So I didn't draw it in heavily, so I can change that a little bit. When you start to add the shadows and the highlights, you start to see things got a little bit of a thing happening there. Now she's got a line under her chin, and you can create the shape with the shadows. So she's got her chin there. Got a little line coming down there. So you just start to build little layers. There's a deeper shadow underneath her chin, but I'll do that in a grey. And then I've got to come down onto her little neck, and I just gradually build up, layer upon layer upon layer, one layer at a time. There's an ad here for cheesecake, and it's a layered cheesecake, and it's like I build it layer upon layer upon layer, and I'm like, So I'm building my painting like a cheesecake. Lots of layers. And if you go thin with watercolour, you can do that. You can do tons and tons and tons of layers. And this is Sennelier watercolour. I'm using a mixture, Sennelier Daniel Smith's. So for that's Daniel Smith colours. The pink's Daniel Smith, and the rest is Sennelier. And I heard good things about the pink. I have to Google it, but I did hear that it was more colour fast than, because a lot of times opera pink is not colour fast because it's a dye. It's not a natural sort of a pigment. But I think Daniel Smith's, I did read somewhere, and I might have this wrong, that it's light fast. Because I try to only use products that have light fast qualities, because then you'll get 100 years out of them, not just 20. Didn't know that. Yeah, I read it somewhere. I can't remember where I read it, and I'm probably wrong. I recommend Googling. But Daniel Smith's Opera Pink, Google, and just double check, because, yeah, I did read that. I've got to do, she's got a bit of a dark bit there. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, if you can, you try and use the light fast stuff. Unless you're going to keep it for yourself, in which case it doesn't matter. Like, I've done lots of pen drawings. Opera Rose, yes. Or Rose Opera. Yeah, I wrote Rose Opera, but it's probably Opera Rose. Okay, now her eyes. I cannot see her eyes. So this will be fun. So I'm going to make them blue, but I'm going to go a very diluted wash of ultramarine, leaving her pupil very diluted. Because you can't, her eyes are really completely in shadow. You can't see them. So, but she's got beautiful little eyelashes, so I suppose it doesn't matter. No one buys my artwork, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, you know what's really interesting though? I'm sure they do. I do. Well, I bought your books, and I've got your artwork, your wonderful, wonderful artwork, and I've got the T-shirt, and I've got the cup. I'm actually drinking out of my Minions cup today. Floof is in the wash. But Floof's having a bath in the washing machine. Because Floof is Aurora's character, her OC, and it's so cute. It's my favourite character on earth. And so I've got the art T-shirt, the Floof cup. He is my favourite character ever. What am I doing now? Okay, so I'm going to keep working around her face and building up the shadows. So I've got to mix up a slightly thicker consistency, less water. When I use these little porcelain palettes, so you can see the runny watercolour. If you put it up here, if it's too watery, it'll run down to the bottom, and you can have your thicker consistency watercolour up the top. So I get, I seem to get more. I can get two colours on one palette, in one tray. Come on, yellow ochre, do your thing. There we go. Get a bit more blue. I want to set a camera up over my Is that acting weird? That's acting weird. Don't like that. Okay, I'm going to clean that up. Mix that again. Maybe I had a bit of colour on my brush, so I've got to be a little bit careful. And I've actually got to do her arm. I didn't do her arm. Gee, I'm silly. So we need to zoom in on her arm. I'm going to add the colour, the skin tone to her arm of what I've already got mixed up on my palette. But then I've got to make a slightly thicker consistency. Whoopsie-days. So what's everyone up to with their evening, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are? It's morning here. Gonna just fill that right in, like that. Go right down to the bottom of her arm. All right. Make a bit of a stronger colour up. So go back into the yellow ochre, back into the, there we go, that's better. Slightly stronger. And I'm going to add, while it's still a little bit damp, a little bit of tone variation in her fingers. So because they sort of look flat, but once you put the shadows in, that'll give them their shape. The fingers sort of wrap around. And she's got her little knuckly bits. So I'm just the same colour, just a slightly different consistency. Just watching you all waiting to fix my Streamlabs for YouTube. Nice. Very, very good. Well, the kids come home Wednesday, so I've already said, you know, how I need to get my Discord happening and Streamlabs thing going so that we can multi-stream. That'll be good fun. All right. Oops. Because I'm very not good at technology. English is not my language, so I have a question. The ripple, not in the hair. No, the chocolate ripple ice cream. Chocolate ripple ice cream. I was thinking about food. You're going to have loads of pics to paint too? Yes. Oh, my God. So that gives her... Why is she... I think I put too much red in there. I need to drop that down a fraction. Too much red. I mean, it's okay, but it can be a bit warmer, but I'll dilute it. I can't wait. Yeah, the kids, they sent me a 360-degree photo because they're both photographers, you see. So they both take amazing photographs, and they had a 360 cam and an underwater cam. So they filmed dolphins underwater. I mean, they sent me pictures of dolphins swimming, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So I've got all these beautiful underwater photos to use, and I have all these beautiful landscapes, and I don't do landscapes, but I'm going to have to. So, yeah, I've got lots of fun things about to happen. Lots of fun things. I know. The kids are so clever. They are so clever. So you can see just putting shadows in gives her a little bit of three-dimensionalness. Just makes her look a little bit rounder, a little bit warmer. I've got to go back onto her face. Her face is darker. I've got to be a bit careful, though. So I don't want to overdo it. I'll do them. Okay, done. Share. Awesome. That sounds like a plan. Let's do that. True. All right, so I'm going to drag that. So I've just put, it's the same colour, just a slightly stronger consistency. I'm going to put that into the darker areas on her little face. As a lazy person, I would only paint the ice cream. I nearly did. I nearly just only painted the ice cream. And then I thought, no, I've got to challenge myself. And I'm like, I can't do this. I need to do something different that I don't do. So I was like, oh, okay, fine. I'll do something a little bit harder. I have a tendency of I say I think I can't do something and I've got to do it. I've got to prove to myself that I can do it. I'm pig-headed. And people are not my forte, so I thought, right, I need to keep doing people. I need to keep doing people, keep drawing people. I draw animals because animals are easy for me. But I'm making it a challenge to myself to try and incorporate people into as many of my pieces as I can. So pushing myself out. I have courage. I don't know whether it's courage or crazy. It's probably a mixture of the two. But thank you, Dale. Thank you. But yeah, and I'm you know, and I make mistakes. Like the other day I was working on hand. This all started with hand pictures. I started drawing hands, and I did two good ones and I did one yucky one. But it was fine because it was all practice and I learned from it. And then I thought, if I'm doing hands, I need to do people. And then people started. What did I do first? I think I did a little kid first. I can't remember. I can't remember what I've actually drawn now. I'm going to get onto her hair. She looks a bit wishy-washy. So I'm going to do her hair. And her hair's, I'm going to use transparent sienna first. So I'm going to wet my brush, wet my paint, get that on the palette, get it quite diluted so it'll be a thin wishy-washy wash, and get that onto her hair. So transparent sienna. It's beautiful, and it does fade back. So it fades back to quite a light colour. And she's got her hair all swirly. And like I said before, because I've gone over the green a bit, it doesn't matter. I can, because this is going to be her hair's darker, it'll go over it fine. So yeah, you got to keep going outside your comfort zone, even if it is a mess sometimes, which does happen a lot. Little girl, you did. Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right. What was she doing? I can't even. Hang on, I need to look at my pictures. I don't even remember what I did. That was so 2 days ago. I have the memory of a sieve. Oh, I did a woman yesterday, a really pretty woman. And then there was, yeah, a kid. I can't remember. Oh, Hush, that's right. Oh, my God, Aurora. You got a better memory than me. Because once I've done stuff, it's like, woof, out of my head. You got a better memory than me. Which is not hard. Whoops, a days. Come down there. And I've left the pencil. And I usually try and erase a little bit of the pencil line, but I've left them in here. I haven't really worried about erasing it. All right. Get her hair in under here. And then I'll do what I did yesterday with the woman's hair. Did I do that on, maybe I did that on Twitch. Because I streamed there after I streamed here. Because I did layers and layers and layers and layers and layers with her hair, and it was good fun. I'm actually going to give her a pink hairband as well. So I'm going to give her a little pink hairband. Just a pale pink hairband, like that. A bit dark, you can barely even see it. Like, that's so pale, that's too pale. So I'll drop a little bit more pigment in there, just on the top of the hairband, let it run down. Like that. And then same up there. Just go a bit stronger so she's got her little hairband, like that. You have a terrible memory? Oh, mate, I forget to forget. I forget everything. I'm shocking, 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 shocking. Yummy. Okay. And she's also got a pink t-shirt. So I can probably go in and do a t-shirt. It's, what colour, what other colours have I got? Am I going to do a t-shirt the same colour, or am I going to do it a slightly different colour? I reckon I'm going to give her a violet t-shirt. Cobalt violet. Let's do that. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to wet her t-shirt. I'm not doing it exactly the same as the picture. I'm doing my own thing. I mean, I've got my picture for reference, but I very rarely, I always change something. Took one of her arms off. And I changed, what did I change? I can't remember what I've changed now. I changed her ice cream. And I took her arm off. And I'm changing the colour of her shirt. Yeah, so this is a lovely, soft sort of, this is one of my schminky colours, actually. This is a schminky colour. What did I say it was? Cobalt violet. It's just gorgeous. It is beautiful. It's a gorgeous soft colour. I'm just going to let that run. So wet in wet. So I put the water on the paper. And then I can let the paint flow to a degree. Let it flow right round. Like that. You know what I didn't do? I didn't hit record. I was supposed to be recording this. Oh, well. Doesn't matter. It happens. I've done it once, I can do it again. All right. I come down there like that. So I love how the colours do that. They flow around each other. I love that. And while this is still wet, I'm going to go in. Got to darken up around this bit because she's got little puffy sleeves. I'll do that, let that sort of flow round. Just get my brush a bit more wet. Drag it down here a little bit. can take a couple of these back ones up around like that. Just onto the back of her little sleeve. And clothing's fun because I never do clothing. So this is a fun challenge as well. Like doing things you don't normally do. I don't do material. So this is a way outside the box thing. All right. Then I'm going to go, she's got a crease at the front, so I'm going to go there and pop a little crease there. She actually has a pattern on her shirt, but I haven't drawn the pattern in. I just left that. I thought that was too hard basket. There'd be too much fiddling and fussing. I don't want her clothes to be the centre of the photo. I want the ice cream and her eating the ice cream to be the drive of the photo. It appears like manganese violet. Yep, it's very soft. But yeah, it's cobalt. What is it? Cobalt. Oh, stuck me brushing me thing. Cobalt violet light. It is. And it's gorgeous. Yeah, I haven't got manganese violet, but there's lots of colours very similar in different brands. I made her elbow round. That's pointy. I need to round it. And I'm going to come around here. She's got little creases in the back of her top. So I've got to try and, while it's still a little bit damp, come down and around here. Like that. I'll darken up the front here under her arm because that's in shadow. Round up her little elbow. Under there. Like that, and let that run around a little bit. Right. It's all very soft. Like for the moment, I'm keeping it quite soft. And that is very similar. If you look at that compared to the pink, that is not a whole lot different. The violet and the pink are very, very similar. Isn't that interesting? Once they dry, that's very interesting. There you go. So now I'm going to go, what am I going to go? What am I going to do? I'm going to use a bit of Indian red into her hair. Indian red's a gorgeous, gorgeous colour. Have I got the right one? Yes, of course I do. Okay. So I'm using the Indian red and I'm going to go into her hair. I'll leave lighter patches. Looks totally the same. I know, how bizarre is that, hey? It just shows you. Because I know Indian red can be very like some brands of Caput Mortem. So Indian red has a lot of similarities with Caput Mortem. I don't know the what do you call it? My dog's trying to get in. I'm not sure of the chemical makeup of what's in these paints. There's lots of people. I watch lots of videos on what the paints are made, what pigments they're made up of, and then I promptly forget. They fit together perfectly. They do. It's amazing. I'm surprised and happy and relieved. So I've got to darken her hair up under here now. And darken all of this up. I'm looking at her ear, and I remember I did art classes. A friend of mine, I did portraits with charcoal portraits and stuff. And when we were learning how to do proportions and things, we had to do a page of ears and a page of noses. You've never seen anything quite as weird as a page of ears. Ears look so strange when you've just got ears and no faces. It was really funny. It was like, oh my God, it's so bizarre. Tried to remember that stuff too. I can't do it. I can't remember that stuff. And I did, in the beginning, I did write it all down, and I kept track of it because it does make a difference for mixing and things. But then I'm like, yeah, nah, too hard. I know what feels good to mix and what doesn't feel good to mix, and I just stick with it. Because yeah, the less I can't speak English. The less ingredients, the better the mix. So if it's got less colours to make a colour, less pigments, then it makes it much better for mixing. Colours that work. Yeah, exactly. I have a catalogue of Schminky. Yeah, I love the Schminky colours. Love the Schminky colours. Love, love, love. So now I'm going to do her little eyebrow up here. You can just see the edge of that one. I'll just draw the edge of that one in like that. Okay. I've got to draw her little pupil-y thing. Do a little pupil. Both of her eyes. You can't really see it, but she needs it otherwise. Oh, actually, no, I don't. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to get my itty-bitty brush, my itty-bitty brush, and go a bit of grey for around her eyes. Very diluted. You really can't see. This brush does not hold water, which is fine. I'm just going to do her little eyelashes like that. Just very softly, not detailed, just sort of. Ooh, it doesn't want to go on there, and I don't want to blob it. I'm going to let that one dry a little bit. I've got to do the shadows under her nose. So I'm going to make a purpley grey for under her nose. So that's burnt umber cobalt blue. Burnt umber cobalt blue. Like that. And then do up under her little nose. Because that's a nice, purple's a great shadow colour. And this is a purpley grey. So pop that into her little nostrils. She actually does have darker shadows. So if I really dilute that, very carefully dilute that down, I've got to take that into her shadow areas for a bit of contrast on her skin. And I've just got to keep it really wet and really soft. Into her shadow areas, like that. And that's just burnt umber cobalt blue. Very, very, very diluted. And on her arm, same. She's got shadows down here going onto the back of her arm. So I'll take those down, put a tiny little bit on, and then wash it down. Brush it down with a clean brush, like that. And then on the underside of her hand, the same. Anywhere that's in dark shadow, the same. Pop that dark grey. Got to change the shape of her finger a little bit there. And the same with this one. So just that little bit of darker shadow just pops that little tiny bit. Add a bit of, just got to go so quietly with the greys, because too much grey will make a hell of a mess. Which I did the other day with my other hand that I did. I went overboard a little bit and I put too much grey on and made a complete mess of it. But that's okay, because I learnt from it. And now I'm not going to make the same mistake again. I hope. I probably will, but less times. I won't make the same mistake as many times. So you can see that really made a little hand pop, and I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm going to keep that quite simple, I think. I've got to get back into her little face. She's got a little bit of grey under her eyes, because she's all in shadow under there, because it's under her hat. So I'm just going to drop a little bit of that burnt umber cobalt blue, incredibly diluted, around the bottom of her eye. It comes to the back. It's looking really good. Thank you. It's an experiment in progress. It's lots of fun. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. Take the shadows up there. I've got to do something here. I've got to be a bit careful though. So I'll add that shadow colour in there and I'll just dilute that right down. The same on this side because her head's in shadow because she's got a hat on. She's being a good kid and wearing a hat. She's slip-slopping slapping, which is what we say here. Slip on shirt, slop on sunscreen and slap on a hat for sun protection. So she's got her hat on. I'm going to add a little bit. Shadow onto her nose. The shadows that give the shape. It's the shadows that give the shape. Just got to lift that off a little bit. Take that. I've got to soften that edge. So literally get a damp brush and just scrub the edge. Try and soften it a little bit. All right, I'm going to let all that rest for a minute. I'm going to go back to her ice cream. Go back to her ice cream. And what the hell am I going to do? Okay, what colour I'm going to use a bit of yellow ochre. Oops, get that on my doodah. Maybe not yellow ochre. Maybe I'll have a look at my colours. What colour could I use? Bit of burnt umber maybe. Let's try that. Let's have a look. But very diluted burnt umber. Incredibly diluted. And I'm going to do my Chrissy Crossies on my ice cream. We'll see. We'll see how this goes, peeps. And it's just going to be little dots, little crosses, little squares even. I'll do one row like that. It's not really the good colour, is it? But anyway, it is a shadow colour, trust it. Doesn't have to be exact. And then they go down on a diagonal like that. So I'm just going to do diagonal dots. Just like that. Just do little diagonal dots. Doesn't really look right, but anyway. I think I made a mess of that, but anyway. What I'll do is I'm going to wet my brush and lift that off because I don't like it. Or soften it. So I just wet my brush. Just lift that up a little bit and make it paler. Fine. There we go. And I'll just lift that off a little bit, like that. How am I going to do that? Just trying to think. I'm thinking of how I'm going to do this. Clean your brush. So she's got lighter and then darker. What other colours have I got? I'm going to go back into the buff titanium, I think. Back into the buff. Maybe go a more pure mix of buff titanium while it's still a bit wet. Do that. Come down in a... That worked! Oh my goodness, should have just done that, shouldn't I? Just a bit stronger buff titanium. There we go. And she's got her little waffle cone. Incredibly subtle, but it worked. Yay, I love buff titanium. Oh my god. Buff titanium's awesome. Now, where's my ice cream picture? I'm going to go a little bit of gouache. I've got a little bit of gouache here. I'm going to use a little bit of my gouache on the top of this ice cream. Oops. that work like a... Yes! Good old buff titanium. I'm just going to add this to the left-hand side. Left hand, right-hand side of our ice cream. I'll have to add some white in, back in after. Some like really bright white, because my dog just made a very strange noise, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to leave that. I've got to do... Oh my God, my dog's going feral. I'm just going to darken up this bit down here. Just a tiny bit. Righto. I do need to... Oh, I'm a bit scared. I need to darken it up a little bit. Last year I made ice cream and painted every square from the waffle. Oh my God. Yeah, no, I didn't do that. You're a brave woman. You're a brave woman. Okay, I'm going to do her eyelashes. This is a really high quality brush, but I'm not a fan. It's a red sable, pure sable Renaissance brush. But I have to say, it just doesn't, it's almost too thin. It's too fine. But I need to do the fine detail. See, just doesn't do it. I'm going to get my red velvet one. I've got an itty bitty red velvet one. I'll do that. It's looking good, thank you. We're getting there. We're getting there. Slow and steady. All right, now I'm going to practice on me a bit of paper first. Yep, I can get a thin line with that. Going in with a very hairy bit on the very end of my brush. Trying to anyway. Just like that. Same with her little eyelashes on that side. God, you can't even see it. But I've got to, that's how it's got to be. Don't want to overdo it, because overdoing it will... Thinking everything needs to be darker, darker, darker is not always the best way to be. Right in there. There we go. At least that's defined her little eyes a little bit more. I've got to strengthen up her lips a little bit. So what am I going to do there? Let's have a look at all my colours. Let's see what I've got. I don't want to make it too... Might go a little bit of Venetian red, you know. A little bit of Venetian red. Which is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 across. It's a lovely colour. It's a reddy brown. And I'm going to put that reddy brown in the shadow areas in her lips. Again, using my tiny little brush. She just needs the sort of shape going around. Darker at the bottom. I'm just literally just touching that around very gently. And I'll soften that. Just using the very tip of my brush and some clean water. Just dragging that out a little bit like that. Righto. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I've got to be a bit braver with the colours, I think. So I'm going to go bit of burnt umber, bit of cobalt blue. I've got to shadow around her eyes a bit more. Cobalt blue. Teeny, we'll see what happens if I add a little touch of red. Okay, that's not bad. That worked. And I'm just going to darken up this part of her eye a little bit. Just drag that, I'll just wet my brush and drag that around a little bit. Go into the shadows in her ear, because in here, she's dark. So days, clean my brush, drag that around a little bit, so I've got a little bit heavy on that one. So just clean my brush, take the excess moisture out and drag it around a little bit. Oops, a daisy. Alright, come around back. That's going to have to wait because I can't answer it while I'm on stream. I can leave a message. Right, I'm just going to drag that all around. She's got earrings, but I haven't drawn her earrings. Oh, I haven't done the shadow under her ears. So I'm going to go back to the skin tone. Back to her skin tone. Take that under her ears at the back. And drag that around a little bit. Just like that. I'm going to get into... I'm just having a quick look. Here's what I'm going to do. Grab my middle size brush. I'm going to work on her hair a little bit more, and I'm going to go in with mahogany into her hair. But underneath, oops, get a bit more on my brush. And add hair texture. Following the swirls and the curls. Following the swirls and the curls. Like that. And join them more at the top where they're sort of coming out of the hairband because they're all compressed together up there. Do that. Leave it lighter on the top at the back. And the hair sort of swirls around under here. So just follow the direction of the hair is all you got to do. Just sort of, yeah, stay with the direction of the hair. Come right down there though. Whoops, Daisy missed this. I was too light on my brush there. Hear the birds going bananas outside. Just got to soften that a bit. Like that. I'm going to wet my brush, damp my brush, drag that out a little bit just to soften that bit there. And it's not going to do it, but that's fine. I can still see how if I scrub it a little bit, it just softens that line. I just want to soften that bit there. Didn't want that quite that solid a line. So if you want, there we go. So I'm just literally scrubbing that with a clean wet brush or damp brush just to lift off a little bit. Then go back in, go back in underneath, under here, where her hair goes pulled up into her ponytail. Like that. Take that right round. Sit back and have a look. Hello, Dap. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Wonderful to have you here, Dap. I'm just drawing a few strands of hair. Got to be a bit careful. Don't overdo it. All right. Leave that alone for a minute. I might add a little bit more transparent sienna over the top when it's a little bit drier. It's me, Handbag. Oh, wow. Hello. Just saw you on and had to come visit. Oh, cool. Well, welcome. Everyone's got different names. How you going, doll? I'm going to add a bit of this colour. I've got to add a bit more pigment in here. I just want to get a bit of tonal difference. So how's your day been, mate? Or how's your weekend been? Hopefully all's going well. I'm just going to leave that like that. I've added a little bit of tonal differences there, but I'm just going to leave it. I didn't draw her little teeth. Do I even attempt it? I'm going to clean the palette. Having a quick look. I'm going to darken up, do some more shadows. Just carefully around here. She's shadowed under her ear. So I'm literally using just the littlest, tiniest bit that's left on my palette. It's going well, can't complain. Oh, that's good to hear, doll. That's good to hear. my God, my dogs. They just slam through the doggy door. Okay, I'm just going to lift that off a little bit. Like that. Just touch that with my cloth. And I reckon, just having a quick look again. Her mouth looks weird. What am I going to do? I'm sort of a little bit scared I'm going to mess it up. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to go rogue. I don't have, do I have? I need my white. I'm going to have a white pen. And I'm just going to mark her little teeth in. If I can, try and find my white pen. There it is. And mark in. I've just got to do something with her mouth. I don't know what. I've just got to mark maybe her little teeth. Just something to. Her mouth just looks too flat. Not a lot, and you can't even see it, so it's probably no point, is there? You can't even see that. So I won't worry about it. I'll just leave it. And I'll go onto her hat. I'm going to go into her hat with a bit of indigo. Where's my indigo? Into her hat with a little bit of indigo. Sometimes there's things you can't change. You just got to leave it. I'm going to go around the trim of her hat. Should try and do it in one swoop, not lots of little swoops. Adding detail elsewhere will help. Around the trim there. Hello, Shane. How you going, doll? How are you? How are you? She's got dots coming up here, like stitching. So I can draw. I'm just going to start to add the detail onto the rest of her now. How you going, mate? Just going to wet the paper a little bit because that's all dry. I'm just going to wet that and I'm going to drop a little bit of this indigo in because it's a crease on her hat. Like that. Just creates a little bit of interest in here. I'm good, thanks. How are you? I'm good. I'm very good. I'm having a ball. Oh my God, my dogs are going bananas. I apologise for the doggies barking in the background. Yeah, I'm awesome. I'm having a great time doing something outside my comfort zone and learning and chatting with you all. So it makes my day happy. Makes my day very happy. So I'm going to go back onto the front part of her hat now and do the same thing. She's actually got a little bit of blue stitching on the front of her hat, but I'm going to do it in pink. So I'm going to wet here, very gently wet there. Wet that all around. Just there. I'm going to go back into my pink, my opera pink. I'm going to strengthen up this just through here. Like that. Then come up there. Okay, whoops. Take that right down there, like that. And I'm going to darken up. I might even get a bit of the other colour that I used, a bit of the violet underneath her hat, under here. Just that tone darker in the shadow area, and I've got to strengthen up that blue around the rim. So that's better. That looks better. Looks less, having a little bit of darker in the shadow areas, a little bit of lighter in the light areas helps to bring things together. And I've got to bring that blue down a bit more. So I'm going to use my next brush up and go into my indigo. Got to be a bit careful though. Actually, no, I've got to wait a second. I'm getting impatient. I need to wait. I'm going to go back into her shirt down here. Clean that up because if I go into the hat now, I've got it wet and I don't want it to flow around. So I'm going to darken up in the darker areas on her shirt now that need darkening. The girl's expression is super. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I was having doubts. I was having second thoughts that it was working or not. You know how sometimes you've got to walk away and come back and have a think about it? I wasn't 100% sure. So I'm glad you said that. That makes me feel better. That makes me feel better. Because I was sort of like, oh, did it work? Is it working? But But once you start to add the detail, things start to pop. I've got to darken up under here, under her arms. That's all darker. I'll blend that out a little bit. Like that. Sort of coming towards the back. Going in the direction her shirt sort of hangs. Like that. And adding it in different areas. So here, she is a bit darker down here. So I'll drop a bit of that colour in there. It's a picture based off some IRL inspiration. This is just a generic picture of Unsplash. I use Unsplash for references, my reference photos, when I don't have photos of my own. So no, this is just some random picture off Pixabay, or Unsplash, sorry. I use Pixabay and Unsplash. And just to, yeah, because my kids are all grown up, so I couldn't get a photo of them eating ice cream. So, but yeah, no, this is, yeah, I get all my reference photos. If I don't have my own, I use Unsplash or Pixabay, which are royalty-free photographs. So you can use them for whatever artwork, videos, anything you want. So that's what I do. I just go across there and find something I like and use that. And they're free and, yeah, open for public use. Just to darken up under that bit a bit. All right. Yeah, it's really handy, really handy. I've got to do more in there. I've got to add the colour to this bit. I missed that bit. Yeah, like that. That is the cutest little dude. I'm going to darken up the front here. So the puffy bit of her sleeve. Like that. All right. I can go back to her hat now. And I'm going to do the rim of her hat, and I'm going to do it in indigo. So I've got my indigo ready and raring to go. Now, I'm going to very carefully come around the trim. Try not to get the wobbles up. Oh. That wasn't easy. And then darken up underneath. Like that. And I've got to go around that edge, around the edge on the inside. Take it up onto the hat a little bit thicker. Like that. And then she's actually got blue stripe, blue pattern up there, so I'll take that up there. I wasn't going to do that, but I am going to do that. Like that. And then she's got little pattern around here. So I'll add that on, like that. And that'll dry back very, very, very pale. I reckon I'm going to leave that alone now. That looks pretty cool. Now I'm going to go over her hair with a little bit of transparent sienna. Grab some transparent sienna. Just add a bit in and around for an extra little bit of ready warmth. A little eyebrow. Should probably leave her eyebrow actually. Might leave her eyebrow. Righto. I'm having another look at her little face. How am I going to do? Am I gonna? Okay, I'm just trying to think. Do I need to pop a little bit of pink on her cheeks, but I'm a bit wary. She's darker up here too. I've got to get a bit more skin tone around the top of her nose. Very, very, very carefully. just up here. I've got to take that onto her eyelid, sort of there. Going over that grey that I put in, and I'll soften that just by cleaning my brush, taking the excess moisture off and dragging it around like that. Take it sort of around the top of her head that's all in shadow. Like that. Take it down onto her nose a little bit. Tiniest, tiniest, tiniest little bit under this nostril. That. Oops, got to get excess water because I don't want a big blib on me painting. Righto. I've got to strengthen up her little eyeball. So very carefully, I'm going to go in. Oops, nope, that's not enough paint. Not enough. Got to get more water on my brush. This is scary. Not that much. Okay, be careful. Just be careful. Whoops. Oops, I need to lift that off. That's too dark. Just get my wet brush. And top that, and I can lift that up again. So I clean my brush. Put a bit onto that eye actually, because that's a bit better actually. That's a bit better, and I can redo her eyelashes. Won't go any darker than that though. Still got the little tiny bit. I've got to do her eyelashes again though. So that's alright. I can do her eyelashes again. I might do a little bit, tiny bit more to her lippies. But her lips are dry. A little bit of, clean that off. My paints are all dirty. Get a bit of the alizarin. Just go around that top line of her lip. Just around there. Do you know Crapper Brown from Schminky? It's the best colour. I've never heard of it. It's not brown, it's red. Ooh, okay. No, I haven't heard of it. All right, so I don't want to do them solidly all the way around, but that looks a little bit better. That gives them a little bit of, a little bit more definition. I can see her tongue in the back of her mouth, but I don't think I'm going to attempt it. I need to keep it simple. Excuse my dog. Having a good old bark. I've got to do her eyelashes a bit more. But I might even be a bit sneaky and use my 00003, my teeniest, tiniest micron pen, to just draw her little eyelashes in. So I'm really, really careful because these are also archival. So I don't mind using them from time to time just to help me with a really fine detail like that. I just want to add a little bit light back under there, just the teeniest little bit of light under there and under there where I've lost it. That'll fade back a little bit. Pop a little bit of light on her lip, like that, where I lost it. A little bit of light there. All right, and I reckon I'm going to call that. I'm going to sign it, and I'm going to call it. I think I've fiddled and diddled and doddled and poddled and done all the things. So I'm going to sign that. Where am I going to sign it? I'm going to sign her down here. And I am going to call that done, I reckon, peeps. So I'm going to pull off my doodah, the sticky doodah, which gives you a beautiful little crisp edge. It's Madder Brown. Oh, have I got Madder Brown? Hang on. Have I got Madder Brown? I don't. Ooh, I'll have to get it. I will get it. Thank you for that, Ariane. Thank you. I'm going to write it down so I don't forget, because I will forget because I've got a shocking memory. Madder Brown. Madder Brown. Okay, cool. Thank you for that, doll. I'll pull the tape off the bottom, which you can't see. It's off picture a little bit. Pull the tape off the top. Very gently, gently, catchy monkey. And we are done, peeps. Whoops. Nearly dropped all my things. So there she is. So that was fun. That was lots of fun. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for chatting to me and hanging out with me and talking all things art and ice cream. And, yeah, it's an awesome, awesome day and awesome, awesome time to spend with you guys. So thank you so, so much. I'll be back tomorrow for the next prompt. No idea what it is because I haven't checked. I need to check. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I love this. I love hanging out and having a chat and trying new things and just bouncing ideas off people. It's lots and lots of fun. So thank you so, so much. And I will see you all tomorrow. Have an awesome day. I'll probably rock over to Twitch in about half an hour. I'll make myself a fresh cuppa, go pat the dogs, clean up my paint, and I might go over to Twitch. We shall see how the mop flops. So, yeah, I'll have all the details linked below, which I haven't done yet, which I've got to do before I do anything else. So have an awesome day, guys and girls, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.